Another one, and I've got my own conspiracy theory around this, but you see almonds being used in everything now, which would concern me because, like, well, how has that become such a government surplus product that it's in everything?
The
One
one that wasn't able to breathe when he was born, and so I made a promise to him, said, "I will never stop trying," so I didn't know how I was gonna lose the weight, but, when he was hooked up to feeding tubes and oxygen, I said, holding him awake one night in the NICU, I said, "I'm not gonna give up. You're never gonna see me like that, after, having a heart attack or something." So, this is my little buddy. He
he
just
looks
woke up
he
from a
looks
nap.
he looks beautiful now,
But yes.
although
He
kinda confused about what's going on right now. It's like, who's that guy in the
Yes.
screen?
Yes, if he didn't just wake up, he would be a raging terror. But I do wanted to ask you a question on the IgGs, and these food and this processed food, especially gluten and dairy. Um, Before I would eat those things, and I may have felt bloated. I may have been a little tired, but I just moved on. Now that I cut those out, if I were to eat them, they destroy me. Why do I notice it more now?
Yeah, so one of the dangers, most people, when they think of food sensitivities, they think of like a food allergy. So if you ever saw the movie Hitch, where he eats fish and then it just his whole face swells shut and gets to where he can't breathe and they got to rush him off to the drugstore. That is that's a food allergy. It's different. With an IgG, it's your immune system reacting to the food. And
Hey,
so
I'm
what
feeling
happens with
him
that
more. Hey, dog.
is it's generally like people like, "Oh, I don't
Hey,
have an egg allergy."
hey, you
There's this idea
sounded
that I don't really
like
have, any
that.
issues with almonds or wheat or anything like that because 'cause you're not feeling really sick, but it's still, this reactivity within your immune system that can lead to disease, inflammation, autoimmune conditions, and, a lot of the things you dealt with, weight gain, depression, all these other issues, all sort of underneath the surface, and you would never blame the food. But what is interesting is when you get off of those things and you actually clean out your body, that's when you can notice it more. So when you eat it, your immune system kicks in, and since you haven't been eating it regularly, it's more obvious that, wow, my body really didn't like these foods and is making sure I know it.